So another thing that old guys like to do as well, we like to tell stories. So, you know, I really miss going to bars and sitting down with strangers and hearing their stories and telling them my stories. During the pandemic, I've been pretty much stuck at home with my wife and daughter, and well, they had already heard all my stories over the years. Sometimes we like to hear our own voice, and sometimes we just like to be heard. But anyway, you know. So anyway, I can't fix that, but I can fix that I can't get draft beer at a bar anymore. So bought an Arctic King Kegarator. It holds 2 1/6 kegs, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Hey Lena, did I ever tell you that story about that time I was at band camp? Hey Mandy, did I ever tell you the story about when I was in Singapore? Okay, so this is the Arctic King 2-tap kegerator. I like to keep it at about 37 degrees. That's just about the coldest settings with 2 kegs in it. Right now I've got the Waterline Brewing Company, and I'm getting ready to put in some Dos Equis. We've got our CO2 bottle. It comes unassembled, you have to assemble it. The coils are in the back. You have to put the stand on, the taps, and the casters, but really not too hard. Basic tools, basic knowledge. Anyway, keep the PSI on our CO2 right at around 9 to 10 PSI. I've only had to purchase one CO2 bottle. It seems to hold up with it being inside. Right, so we take the cap off top of the keg. And this one goes in the back corner, so we very gently remove the front keg. We have to position our CO2 bottle up on the back shelf. And this keg will kind of hold it in place. Now, this is the coupler. It's got the CO2 line going to it, and of course the beer supply line that goes to the tap. So we get that on the top of the keg. It just twists in, then you pull and lock it into place. As soon as you do that, you can see the beer start to be delivered through the line because CO2 is already on. The pressure pushes the beer up out of the keg to the tap. Now, part of being an old guy is having some patience. Even though we can tap this, and we'll go ahead and grab a glass out of it, but it usually takes about 2 days for it to settle down and not create a lot of head. The thing I'll note is that I usually keep the beer lines a little closer to the front than the back because the coils are in the back, and they will freeze up. Like I said, usually the first couple beers out will definitely be a lot of head. Basically the keg lines, the tap, all that has to get to about the same temperature before it'll pour really nicely. So like I said, 2 days. Patience. Okay, so one of the other tricks is keeping some nicely frosted mugs ready to go. So that's how I solved the problem of having draft beer at home during this pandemic, but still can't find anybody to listen to my stories. Get a lot of eye rolls around the house though, you can imagine that. But one thing I did want to talk about also was that usually what I do, like since I do have 2 taps, I usually have some type of domestic, kind of a standard beer, something light usually, and then I always keep a local brewery, like right now I've got the Wilmington, or the Waterline Kolsch. Before I had the Wilmington Brewery. I like to keep contributing to our local businesses. Also, I buy my kegs from local places, either Fermental or Lighthouse down on Wrightsville Beach, Lighthouse Beer and Wine. Good places, either one. You go online, check their keg list, see what they have available, and go get what you need.